Hi, very good morning. I'm Dr. Janak Patel. I'm a general physician. I'm not a radiologist. I'll try to give you as much simplified method of identifying certain findings on X-ray chest. I'm a student still. I'm still learning something every day in and out. Whatever knowledge I've gathered, I'll try to share with you. So today we are going to discuss on one important findings which you can see on an X-ray chest and which will help you to identify certain conditions we call as Silhouette sign. So we'll be discussing on that particular topic. So we always utter that way. I'll make topic as much simple as possible so that you can understand. If you understand, you will remember. If you remember, you will try to recognize and you will look for that. But in an X-ray chest, you should know what is normal and what is abnormal. If you know normal, then only you will be able to recognize what is abnormal. So we'll be talking on one of the abnormal finding we call as a Silhouette sign. Now ideally we use one word we call as a cardiac Silhouette or mediastinal Silhouette or we call diaphragmatic Silhouette chest wall. So in an X-ray chest, if you look here, this is the border of the heart. Then this is aorta. This is right atrium. This is right pulmonary artery. Then this is a border of ascending aorta curvature. Then you get superior vena cava here, and this is a right side of the trachea. We call right paratracheal patch. This is left side paratracheal patch, aortic knob or aortic arch. Then you have got a aortic pulmonary window, left pulmonary artery, left atrium, left ventricle. You've got two domes of diaphragm, and this is a right outer lining of the chest wall. This is left side chest wall. These are the two costophrenic angle. These are the cardiophrenic angle. Now, the basic principle of Silhouette means the border of the structure, which is radio opaque, you can identify very clearly. Now, suppose if there is any structure which is close by, and it is also radio opaque, and if it overlaps, then this border and the border of the structure which is producing opacity will be overlapping each other, so you will not be able to make out the border of that particular shadow, and this is called Silhouette sign. Ideally speaking, this is an obliteration of Silhouette, cardiac Silhouette. So that particular border you will not be able to identify. So if there is any structure which is close to right side of the heart, here, this right side of the heart, that will not be identifiable if there is something close to this right side of the heart, that is right lower lobe or right middle lobe. Same way on the left side, lingular lobe and left lower lobe. If suppose you cannot identify this diaphragmatic border, see this curvature of diaphragm, right diaphragm. If you can't identify that, it is a part of a right lower lobe. If I can't identify this paratracheal strip, either it is mediastinum or it is a right upper lobe. So depending upon this, if suppose I cannot identify this part of the right side, then it is a right middle lobe accordingly. So that you utilize to identify it is which part of the lung or it is a part of the mediastinum, etc. That we call as a Silhouette sign. So you will have to look at the margin of these different structures, cardiac structures, mediastinal structure, diaphragm, this costal margin, this border, etc. And you will be able to identify it belongs to which part of the lung. Now you can have a look. This is how it looks in an X-ray. Now here you can see that right dome of a diaphragm you can clearly identify. This is a costophrenic angle you can identify. This is a cardiophrenic angle. Same thing on the left side. You can see the right atrium. Then this is a part of the right hilum. Then this is aorta part, superior vena cava, right paratracheal strip, left paratracheal strip, aortic arch, or you can call as aortic knuckle, aortopulmonary window, left hilum, left atrium, left ventricle, etc. Clearly you can identify. So there is no Silhouette sign, but you can see cardiac Silhouette very clearly. You can see diaphragm very clearly. You can see mediastinal borders very clearly. And these are the number which are being given and what it belongs to. So this 1 is right atrium, this 5 is inferior vena cava, this 4 is superior vena cava, this 7 is pulmonary valve, this is 6 is tricuspid valve, then 7 is pulmonary valve, 8 is pulmonary artery, this is right pulmonary artery, 10 is left pulmonary artery, this is the left border, 3 is a left border which is by a left ventricle, this is a part of a left atrium, etc. So this is normal cardiac Silhouette, and according to this the diaphragm curvature you can identify, and the left diaphragm is higher than right diaphragm. Costophrenic angle you can identify, and you can see the margin of this what we call as a rib cage you can clearly identify. So these are called normal Silhouette. So what exactly do you mean by Silhouette sign? When the two objects of the same radiographic density, means if I show you here again, this is radio opaque, this is radio opaque, this margin is radio opaque. So if you get a radio opaque shadow close to diaphragm, then close to diaphragm is right lower lobe. So if there is something which produces opacity in a right lower lobe, will obliterate this diaphragm margin and you will not be able to identify. Then we call this as a Silhouette sign. Same way say we explain the right border. Say if there is any structure which is radio opaque, again that is a lung only, and it is a lower lobe. So if it obliterates the right atrium margins and I can't identify them, then we call that as a Silhouette sign. So in that way you can take different parts of cardiac Silhouette, mediastinum, diaphragm, etc. to identify which part of the lung is being involved. And then depending upon the additional findings, you can say this lobe, consolidation, collapse, etc. So again repeating, when the two objects of the same density touches each other or they overlap, the border between them will disappear, and that is given a name Silhouette sign. You can see these are the two separate structures, both are of similar density, but when they overlap, now this border and this border, as they are overlapping, you cannot identify, and this border, as you cannot, border of this you cannot identify, border of this you cannot identify. So this is given a name Silhouette sign. Ideally speaking, it is a loss of Silhouette. What was a normal border you cannot identify. So ideally we should say loss of Silhouette is called Silhouette sign, but it is labeled as only Silhouette sign. Ideally we should say loss of Silhouette sign. So that is the word which is being commonly utilized. So adjacent structure, if there is an overlapping, you will not be able to identify the border of those particular structure, and that is Silhouette. And whenever you get in a AP view or a PA view, Silhouette sign, always try to have a lateral view to identify whether it is in the anterior mediastinum, middle mediastinum, posterior mediastinum, etc., or it is in a superior mediastinum. If you want to differentiate mediastinum wise, you should ask for a lateral X-ray and have a look in that. Now, suppose if a person is having a Silhouette sign, which is you are suspecting that it is related to mediastinum, you will have to take a lateral view. But when it is in the lung, to identify which lobe it belongs to, whether it is a upper lobe, middle lobe, lower lobe, etc. Again, lateral view is very important. If you find a radio opacity on the right side, ask for a right lateral view. If there is a radio opacity on the left side, ask for a left lateral view. So this should be kept in the mind. And you can see here, this is a normal cardiac silhouette. You can see the margin very clearly because all these shadows are opaque. This diaphragm is opaque, so this is a diaphragm silhouette. This is mediastinal. This is cardiac borders. Now, if there is any structure and you can identify both border very clearly, see here in this, you can identify this border, you can identify this border. So, if this is because of pneumonia, I can see lung margin very clearly and I can see cardiac margin very clearly. We'll use the word negative silhouette sign or visible heart silhouette. So, if I can see the clear cut margin of the heart very clearly, we'll say there is no silhouette sign. So that we call as a negative silhouette sign. But if suppose there is a pneumonia and it is overlapping on the heart and I cannot identify the border of the heart and I cannot identify the margin of pneumonia, then we call as a silhouette sign is present or positive, where I cannot identify the normal cardiac silhouette, or what we ideally meaning silhouette means borders. So then you call it a silhouette sign is positive. So in that particular case, if I want to locate, I should know which structure belongs to which area. So suppose if there is anything which is close to this left border and it produces obliteration of this, it is a lingular lobe of left lung. If it is a hemidiaphragm, this diaphragm, then it is a lower lobe. On the right side, right lower lobe, on left side, left lower lobe. In a paratracheal strip, this will be mediastinal structures. Mediastinal structures. And in this part, superior mediastinum, and lower part, either it is anterior, it is middle or posterior. So try to it. If it is a chest wall which you cannot identify very clearly, it is either because of lung or it is because of pleura or because of some rib disorders. Now you can see here, there is one diagram which is showing you certain radiopaque shadow. There is a radiopaque shadow here. There is a radiopaque shadow here. There is a radiopaque shadow here. Now here I cannot identify, see I can see the diaphragm margin here. I can see the diaphragm margin here. And I can see the cardiac border. So there is something either because of diaphragm or there is something in the right lower lobe. So this particular shadow is producing silhouette sign with diaphragm. So it is a right lower lobe pathophysiology, or something is below the diaphragm which is producing this type of pathophysiology. But if you see the diaphragm margin here, I cannot see this diaphragm margin, so it has to be a lung. It has to be a lung. So there is something in the right lower lobe. Same way, if I see a left cardiac margin, I cannot make out, but there is a small margin I can make out here. I can see this left atrial margin. So there is something which is happening in the left side lingular lobes, this lingular area. So this is consolidation in a lingular lobe. This is a consolidation in a right lower lobe, because you can see the air bronchogram. You can see the air bronchogram. Now there is one shadow here, and I cannot clearly demarcate the rib margin here, this chest wall. So there is something here, either it is from the rib or there is in the lung or it is in the pleura. And same way, if you see this right side of the paratracheal area, there is a shadow here. So this is producing silhouette here, this is also producing a silhouette sign. So this is a right paratracheal mass. So this may be malignancy, maybe a secondary metastasis, or maybe a thymus gland, anything in the superior mediastinum. But this is most likely to be secondary metastasis or a lymph node enlargement, which may be due to either malignancy or maybe even lymphomas. So this will be the way you will try to interpret. So you've got a 1, 2, 3 and 4 area where there is a Silhouette sign. So try to look properly. You will be able to identify Silhouette sign and it will give you an idea where exactly it is. Now suppose this is an aortic knob. This is a right atrium. And if this is a left ventricle. And if you see this, this is a descending aorta. Now, in this particular X-ray, if you see there is a radiopaque shadow here. So right border of the heart you cannot make out. Diaphragm I can make out. So this is close to what we call as heart. So this can be due to pericardium or can be due to lung. So this will be one thing, right? So it can be because of the middle lobe of the lung or it can be because of the heart. So this is a Silhouette sign. One. Now if you look here at the aorta, now there is one shadow here. So this has to be due to when it is close to aortic knuckle. It is anterior mediastinum or a left upper lobe or it may be related to the aorta itself. Maybe aortic aneurysm or maybe anterior mediastinal mass or maybe left upper lobe some pathophysiology. So this will be the way you will be able to identify. Suppose I suspect this as a posterior thoracic sign. But in that case, what will happen? You will see a radiopaque shadow and you will be able to demarcate the margin. Now I cannot demarcate the margin here. I cannot see the right atrial margin. So this has to be related to right side middle lobe or heart, either of the two. Now, this is an additional same thing what we have mentioned here. This is a superior vena cava, ascending aorta, right atrium. This is a right ventricle margin. This is a left ventricle. Here will be left atrium. This is pulmonary artery, right hilum, left hilum, aortic pulmonary window. This is aortic arch. Is it clear? And then this will be superior vena cava, paratracheal strip, left paratracheal, right paratracheal strips. And this is the relation what is being given. Superior vena cava and this portion will be related to right upper lobe. Hello. Ah. Ah. So this will be relation to the paratracheal area, anterior segment wise, right upper lobe, right atrium will be related to the right middle lobe, aortic arch will be related to the left upper lobe, left ventricle will be related to the lingular lobe, right hemidiaphragm, right lower lobe, and left diaphragm, left lower lobe. Same thing we mentioned here. What are the relation of different lobes? Now, there are two common conditions which will produce a radio opacity in the lung. Consolidation and another is collapse. So, in consolidation, what you will get? You will be able to see the margin very clearly. This is the margin. So, it will be a homogeneous opacity. It will produce Silhouette sign because there is a lung which will produce an opacity and it will be related to mediastinal structure or the border of the heart. Here the paratracheal strip, superior vena cava, etc. cannot be demarcated. So this is related to the right upper lobe and you can see a air bronchogram. So if you see an air bronchogram, radio opacity and Silhouette sign, it is related to lung. And which lung you will be able to identify. So this is on the right side. You cannot see the right paratracheal strip, superior vena cava, you cannot identify. So that is right upper lobe. So this is a right upper lobe consolidation. And usually in this, there is no shift of a trachea. There is no blunting of the costophrenic angle. There is usually no blunting of a costophrenic angle and diaphragm contour is maintained. When this is there, you label that as consolidation. Now, here we have mentioned the difference between the two, that is consolidation and collapse. In collapse, there is a volume loss. In pneumonia, there is no volume loss. In collapse, there is ipsilateral shift, means trachea will be shifted to the site of collapse, while there is no shift in case of pneumonia. Usually this is linear or wedge shape. In consolidation, there are air bronchogram which is clearly seen. Usually apex at the hilum. So you will have a tip at the hilum and the base, that is a broad part, that will be close to the chest wall. While here, if you see here, this will be the shape what you will get come across. You will have a base close to the hilum and you will have this particular shape, and this will be the relation. This will be the relation, while we'll show you the collapse. So you try to identify the most important finding: the shift of mediastinum and shift of trachea, diaphragm, the shift of right hilum or left hilum, upward or downwards, depending upon which lobe is collapsed, because that we'll be discussing in detail again in a chest X-ray showing you a lung pathophysiology. So in a atelectasis there are indirect signs, there are direct signs, and there are some other odd types of atelectasis. We will not be discussing regarding this at present. There are certain direct signs, means displacement of the fissure. Fissure will be lifted up and there will be opacification of the collapsed lung. In that collapsed lung, sometimes you can see a air bronchogram, but it is not a common finding. Usually it is a uniform opacity. There are certain indirect signs, what we call a displacement of the hilum. So if upper lobe is collapsed, hilum will be lifted up. If lower lobe is collapsed, hilum will be lifted down. So that will be a peculiar findings what you will be coming across. So try to look at that particular finding. There will be mediastinal shift towards the site of the collapse. There will be decrease in the lung volume size on the affected side. Diaphragm will be elevated on the affected side, whether it is upper lobe or lower lobe, in both. Because of collapse, there you may be able to see sometime crowding of the rib. Because of collapse, opposite lung will undergo compensatory emphysema. So there will be little hyperlucency because of compensatory emphysema, and it will produce Silhouette findings, or we call Silhouette's finds, with diaphragm and heart border. Depending upon if it is a lower lobe, it will produce with hemidiaphragm on the same side and heart border. So this is a peculiarity of what we call as a atelectasis. We'll be showing you some of those X-rays. Now you can see here, trachea is shifted to the same side. You can see a homogeneous opacity. This fissure is lifted up. Hilum is lifted up. Diaphragm is lifted up. There's a little crowding of ribs. These are all finding of what we collapse. And this is related to the trachea, paratracheal strip on the right side. So this is the right upper lobe collapse. So this is how we undergo. So try to identify a collapse. Look at all the findings. Shift of diaphragm, shift of trachea, shift of mediastinum, shift of fissure, shift of hilum, crowding of ribs, etc. And look at the Silhouette sign. Now, the third condition, which is related to the pleura. In pleural cavity, if there is a collection of a material which produces radiopacity, and that is a fluid. Fluid being heavy, it will go to the lowermost part, that is we call a costophrenic angle. So if there is a blunting of costophrenic angle, it will give rise to obliteration of a costophrenic angle because of a pleural effusion. And as the fluid increases, the diaphragm will not be identifiable. Border of the heart will not be identifiable. So it will produce Silhouette sign with a cardiac border, Silhouette sign with a diaphragm, and Silhouette sign with the chest. So costophrenic angle will be obliterated. You will get a meniscus sign. This is called meniscus sign. Silhouette with diaphragm and a Silhouette with border of the heart. When you get that, it is in favor of a pleural effusion. Depending upon the type of the fluid, it may be transudate, it may be exudate, it may be pus, it may be blood, it may be chyle, it may be cholesterol containing material, or it may be urothorax. It may be any one of this. So you must be able to identify this. Now here you can see here that there is a homogeneous opacity. You can't identify the right paratracheal strip. You cannot identify the superior vena cava, right border of the heart, diaphragm, costophrenic angle, chest wall. So there is a entire chest on right side is involved. There is a shift of trachea to the opposite side. There is a shift of mediastinum to the opposite side. So this has to be massive pleural effusion. So by that shift, you can find that there is something which is creating a positive pressure on the right side, shifting the entire mediastinum to the opposite side. So this is a typical X-ray which shows you massive pleural effusion, obliteration of costophrenic angle, right diaphragm you cannot identify, so there is a Silhouette with a right diaphragm, right cardiac border, superior vena cava, right paratracheal strips, and complete chest wall. So this is a massive right side pleural effusion. You can see here. Now there is a big opacity, but as compared to pleural effusion. Now here there is a shift to opposite side. Now if you look here, there is a shift of trachea to the same side, means pull. Whenever there is a pull, it is either because of pneumonectomy or because of collapse. These two common conditions. So there is a shift of trachea to this side. Mediastinum is also shifted. So this has to be because of collapse. Now here you cannot identify the hilum. You cannot see the diaphragm, so I cannot make out the diaphragm is lifted up or not. Hilum is shifted or not, I cannot make out. Crowding of rib also I cannot make out. So what I can see is shift of trachea, shift of mediastinum, homogeneous opacity. Diaphragm I cannot make out, right border entirely from paratracheal strips, superior vena cava, right hilum, right border of the heart I cannot make out. So this is classical what we call as total lung collapse, right? Why it is not pneumonectomy? Because the ribs are not resected. If ribs are resected, it will be in favor of a pneumonectomy. And in a pneumonectomy, you may see even a pleural calcification or pleural fibrosis. So try to identify that. Now if you see here, there is a shift of trachea to the opposite side. Homogeneous opacity on the left side. Left paratracheal strip I cannot make out. Mediastinum is also shifted. Left diaphragm, left border of the heart, aortic knob, left hilum, left atrium, I cannot make out. Left side of the chest also I cannot demarcate nicely. Left costophrenic also angle I cannot make out. So there is a push from this side. Push, pleural effusion. Massive pleural effusion in this case. So you should be able to differentiate. Both are producing opacity. But try to look for all these findings. You will be able to differentiate between pleural effusion, collapse, lung collapse, thickened pleura, and even pneumonectomy. You should be able to, and consolidation. You should be able to differentiate. Now in this particular X-ray, if you look, diaphragm I can make out. Costophrenic angle I cannot make out. Right border, little hazy. This I can make out. Hilum I can make out. Paratracheal strip I can make out. Now if you see here, there is a radio opacity, and this is the margin. And I cannot demarcate very clearly the margin here. Now this particular is called encysted pleural effusion. Encysted pleural effusion or encapsulated or loculated pleural effusion. This is producing Silhouette sign at costophrenic angle, and it is producing with a border of the chest, or we call it chest wall. So this will be in favor of encysted pleural effusion. If it is showing you a crescent sign, then it is not encysted. But when it shows you this type of a shape, then it is called as a loculated, encysted, or encapsulated. So it is a peripheral soft tissue shadow and a smooth tapering margins. So that is typical encysted pleural effusion. Now, if you look in this lateral X-ray, you can see a sternum. There are suture lines. These are still sutures which are being taken. So something must have been done on the chest. Some surgery must have been done. This is usually when you do a sternal split and you operate on a mediastinum or a lung or on a heart, etc. You do something in that. Now if you look here, there is a opacity. I cannot make out the diaphragm, hemidiaphragm. And this opacity is showing you a meniscus sign. So this is pleural effusion. Now you have to look at which lateral view it is. So if this is a left lateral, so this is a left side pleural effusion. If it is a right lateral, this is a right side pleural effusion. So you will have to look at that. So I cannot make out a costophrenic angle. So that's why this is a pleural effusion showing you a meniscus sign and Silotti sign with a diaphragm contour. I cannot identify the diaphragm contour clearly. So this is a meniscus sign with obliteration of a costophrenic angle, radiopacity. So this is a pleural effusion. But you will have to know, I think this is a left lateral view. So this is a left side pleural effusion. Now here, similar way. If you see a opacity, but there is a horizontal line. And on the top of horizontal line, there is a radiolucency. Radiolucency means air, pneumo. And opacity means fluid, hydropneumothorax. So in a case of hydropneumothorax, you will have an air fluid level. This is air, this is fluid. And it will produce Silotti sign with a structure which comes in contact. This is with the chest wall. As such, we cannot see the costophrenic angle. Diaphragm you cannot make out. Right border of the heart you cannot make out. Right atrium, right hilum, and paratracheal strip you can make out. So there is something which is not radiopaque. So this is radiolucent. So this is air. This is fluid. Hydropneumothorax. Now if you see here in this particular X-ray, now I can see the right dome of diaphragm here. Here, left dome of diaphragm I cannot make out. Right atrium I can see, right hilum, superior vena cava, and in a paratracheal strip there is a shadow here. So there is some structure which is related to the mediastinum. So there is a widening of the mediastinum. I cannot make out the border of this particular shadow and border of the mediastinum. So this is related to mediastinum. So this is a widening of a mediastinum. And whenever there is a widening of mediastinum, there is some structure here. And this is because of an ectopic parathyroid adenoma. So this is a rare condition, but this is after investigation you can make out. You can say there is some mass in a mediastinum which is on the right side. That is what you can say. And this is called Silotti sign related to right paratracheal strip, which can be because of lipoma, paratracheal lymphadenopathy, thyroid malignancy, parathyroid neoplasm, tracheal malignancy, or stenosis, pleural effusion, or even a thickening in a right apical lobe. So all this condition can produce that. Now here there is a left paratracheal mass. So this is a left paratracheal mass, and that is because of thyroid carcinoma. Here you can see the left border clearly, left hilum, aortic knob, but here it is difficult to identify. And on this side, right diaphragm, right border of the chest wall, right atrium, right hilum, superior vena cava, but still there is some shadow here. So this is a paratracheal mass which is on the left side, and that is thyroid carcinoma. So on a left side you can get pleural effusion, mediastinal lymphadenopathy, mediastinal hematomas, thymomas, thyroid gland, etc. All those structures can produce that particular thing. Now this is in a lateral view, and this is in a AP view. Now whenever you see this is, if you look at this, this looks like a S like this. Is that clear? Sorry. Then this is called golden S sign. And whenever you get that, it is actually called reverse S of golden. So when you see that, it means a collapse of the lung. And it is in the right upper lobe. So this is right upper lobe collapse. So whenever you see this, this is because of the pull of the, what we call as a fissure. So fissure is pulled up, trachea will be to the same side, diaphragm will be pulled up, hilum will be pulled up, ribs will be collapsed or ribs will be crowded. When you see such things, always suspect collapse. And in a lateral, you can see the fissure is lifted up. Even hilum will be lifted up. Hilum will be lifted up. And even the diaphragm may be lifted up, depending upon the severity of the collapse. So that is a typical sign, what is given a name, golden S sign, or even they use a word, reverse S sign of golden. So it is a reverse S. S is reversed. So it is called golden S sign. This already we have shown you. Homogeneous opacity, trachea to the same side, diaphragm you cannot make out, border of the heart you cannot make out, costal margin you cannot make out, costophrenic angle you cannot make out. So because of the shift of the trachea, this has to be a collapse. Same thing here. This is on the right side, this is on the left side. Trachea is shifted to the left side. Left side you cannot make out, left hemidiaphragm you cannot make out. So this is a left side collapse. So try to look for all these findings. Now if you see here, this hilum I cannot make out, and right border of the heart I can see little bit, but there is a little strips here. So this is related to the lung. This is not related to the heart. So there is something which is related to the lung. And if you see here, in this I can see a little amount of a air bronchogram. So either this is a consolidation or this is a collapse. In a consolidation there will be no shift of trachea. Now trachea is shifted to the right side. So this has to be a collapse, which you will be able to identify in a lateral view. In a right lateral view, you can see that this is a triangular shadow. This is hilum, this is periphery, triangular shadow. Little air bronchogram is seen here. And along with this, if you see, the trachea is shifted to the right side, same side. So this has to be a collapse. And when a diaphragm is demarcated very clearly, now you can see the diaphragm is clearly seen. You can see even a costophrenic angle, cardiophrenic angle, not costophrenic angle, cardiophrenic angle. So it is not the lower lobe. So this is the right middle lobe consolidation which can be seen. And trachea is little towards this side. So this is because of the presence of an air bronchogram. This is more in favor of a consolidation. In a collapse, there will be shift of trachea to the right side, and air bronchogram is very rarely seen. So this is right middle lobe consolidation. Now if you look here, I cannot make out the diaphragm. Right border of the heart I can see clearly, and this is a opacity, and in a lateral view this is the opacity. This is right lower lobe consolidation, and you can see a little air bronchogram here. Air bronchogram can be seen here. So this is the right lower lobe collapse. Now all these slides, now I am shifting over whatever I uttered before that is mentioned here. That is how you make out the Silotti sign between the right border, left border, etc. So I am giving a little pause. You can go through these different slides. There are some x-rays, explanation is given before. Whatever I have explained before, that is repeated here. So this is a revision for you. You go through these all different things. This is a right upper lobe collapse. This is a left upper lobe collapse. This is a paratracheal mass on the right side. On this side, you can see on the left side there is a Silotti sign. So this is a left middle lobe or lingular lobe you can call, which you will be able to identify in a lateral view. This is a left side homogeneous opacity, and trachea is little towards the right side, little towards the left side. So this is most likely to be collapse. While here you can see a air bronchogram, you can see a little lateral margin of the right atrium, diaphragm roughly you can make out, and there is a little air bronchogram. So this is a right lower lobe consolidation. You try to identify all these findings. This is a homogeneous opacity on one side, trachea to the same side, so this has to be a collapse. So try to have whatever I have explained you before. You go through this all different x-rays. There are a lot of x-rays, and you make a diagnosis on your own. So try to go through all these different. In certain slides, explanation is given. Say here the air bronchogram is seen clearly. You can see a air bronchogram. So this has to be a consolidation. It is a bilateral consolidation. So try to go through all those things. This is the air bronchogram. Now go through this all. This is what we call as a bat wing appearance in a congestive heart failure. So I've got lot of x-rays. So I'm keeping this for your quiz. But don't read this. Even if you read this and you make a diagnosis, but why you try to answer? Say this is a radio opacity, right? Now, in this you can see a air bronchogram. So whenever you see a air bronchogram, pneumonia, very clear. Now, little amount of this border I cannot make out. I cannot make out very clearly the margin of this. So this has to be an upper lobe. So this is a right upper lobe consultation. But you should try to argue out why it is. Diaphragm I can see clearly, costophrenic angle I can see clearly. Even here, if I see here, left border I cannot make out clearly of the heart. So this has to be a left lingular lobe involvement also. So there is a left lingular lobe consultation plus right upper lobe consultation. So two lobes are involved, bilateral consultation. So try to argue out, and this is a female, breast shadow can be seen. So try to look at all these signs. Is that clear? Lot of x-rays are there. Have a pause, make your own diagnosis, and try to correlate with the what is written on the X plates here. What is written here? Okay. So I am showing you one by one all the different x-rays. So go through all those and try to argue out, and then make the diagnosis. These are all showing you different Silotti signs. And which lobe is involved, what is the pathophysiology, you try to identify why it is collapse, why it is pleural effusion, why it is consolidation, you try to argue out that. And I have explained you all those things before. Is it clear? So try to look at all these findings. Why it is hydropneumothorax, why it is a mediastinal mass, try to argue out which area it is. These are all the different types of x-rays. So here I end my lecture. If you find any problems, you can ask me and you can contact me. So I end my lecture here. So we'll see you in our next lecture.